team will shoot 40%. I mean, that's a good night. And Adelaide, we have often seen them over the 50% mark this year, which makes them a little more exciting to watch than the average Bear. Especially in a low-scoring game. You want to see him knock down some shots. Ubaka, with a couple of hesitation moves, is off the mark. Bartlett. Darren Ing. Ubaka did a good job of addressing him at the three-point line. Saville turned down the early one.
Both teams picking up their shooting percentage a little bit in that third quarter, not by much, but they're both up to around that 35% mark.
Ooh.
Which isn't great, but it is lifting.
We've seen a couple of games this year where they're teetering around the 20% mark, and one shot missed take you into the teens. That's not good.
No, it's not good. But when you're playing in a game like this, all it takes is one team to just get a little bit on fire and bang, they're away, and that's going to be the difference. So we'll see if one of these teams can catch a light in this last quarter, see if that'll get them over the line.
We have seen games like this that start off really slow. Teams are having trouble knocking down shots. And in the fourth quarter, the game's in the balance. Everyone's focused right in, start hitting clutch shots down the stretch. Ubaka. Davison keeps it alive. Does a great job of tipping it to Reese Martin.
It's funny because in training drills, when you're shooting against someone and they're shooting 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, your concentration, your focus is so much better. But when you're shooting against a guy that's shooting 4 out of 10, all of a sudden you start dropping down and shooting 6s out of 10s. And it's amazing how, when everyone else around you is doing it, how it can affect your shooting as well.
Playing to the level of your opponent happens as well. You're playing good basketball and you're playing against a team that's been sloppy, as this possession looks.
Darren Ing trying for a little Harlem Globetrotters action there. Sliding in.
Foreman from the top. That's off the mark.
Oscar Foreman, 2 of 8 now from the field. Not having a great night.
Bartlett for 3. That's long. Mitchell Creek keeps it alive.
Creek had probably a bit more time than he thought there on that rebound. He tried to flick it up. Instead, he probably could have just jumped up and grabbed it with both hands there as he's copped one in his face for good measure.
And got the foul.
Oh.
Boy, talk about hard done by. That wasn't much of a push, was it?
There wasn't much of a push at all. He was a little bit off balance. He gets one in the face, lands on his butt.
I like the fact he didn't complain at all either. Just up playing. He just happened to be playing ball for a living. Here comes Mitch Creek in the open court to Johnson. That's no good. Martin to Campbell. He's got a good look at the three-point line. Bang.
He has done that for well over a decade now for the Wollongong Hawks, and that was never going to miss. I thought down the other end, Mitch Creek probably gave it to Daniel Johnson just a little bit too early. He needed to get the defense committed a bit more. And then give it to the big fella.
You know, credit to Matt Campbell, who is just, he's second to Tony Ronaldson in games played. Or in the top 10, or he played a lot of games.
But he's playing a really tough role once you start getting to that age now when you're in the mid-30s and you're coming off the bench and you're playing bits minutes. It is hard to get the older body fired up to get in there and give 100% over that period.
Nathan Herbert with the long 3. That's right, he is 10th in all-time games played. Not second. Tony Ronaldson played for 20 years.
And Tony Ronaldson went away and played at Arizona State, and he probably could have played another year or 2 longer if he hadn't gone over and played college ball as well.
Davison. with his jump hook. That's good. Larry Davison's coming to play today.
Good job of backing down Stephen Way there in the post. Stephen Way has to be more physical at the defensive end and hold his ground, not just get back down underneath the ring.
Wollongong's made a game of this. Mitch Creek using his quick. Nice little offbeat shot by Mitch Creek. Something that he did not have in his arsenal. Maybe a year ago, it was all power and athleticism. That time, just got his defender out of rhythm, and that gives Adelaide an 8-point lead, 58-50. We'll be back.
Save the boy and lift your curse. Okay. Let's have some personal issues I kind of like to get fixed. This year. You want to have some fun? Yes. Hang on. Nice bike. And take a ride with the world's hottest hero.
Is it still burning?
A little. In 3D. That felt good. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, only in cinemas.
Welcome back, where Wollongong have gotten all kind of service out of Larry Davison. He is a top scorer in the match with 15 points. And not only has he got 15, he's got 7 rebounds, Brett, and he's doing it at a very nice clip of 6 for 8. He's been super active, knocking down shots from the perimeter, and then he's not your traditional back-to-the-basket player. He's very good on the pick and pop, and a great cut there. He's showing you Larry Davison is healthy. That's the type of activity you get from him. He's very difficult to stop.
He's been really quietly achieving it too. It's not as if it's been, wow, he's at 15, it's been memorable points, but a couple of nice ones there, like that little turnaround he had in the post. And he's just really a smart player. He's been reading those cuts to the basket exceptionally well, finishing off well. He is 6 of 8 from the field, which is fantastic. He's just, I've loved watching him evolve over the last 5 or 6 years of his career, where he's really become a smarter player. He's got that nice, laconic, left-handed shot from outside the 3. He's got a couple of nice little post moves there. So I've really enjoyed watching him evolve these last couple of years.
Stephen Way backing down the smaller Reese Martin. Shot clock down to 3. Warren creates space, gets it over Oscar Foreman. That'll go the other direction. Yeah, those are difficult. You know, when a guy shoots the ball at the end of the shot clock and it's a real brick, you have no idea where that thing's going to carry him to.
It's always hard to rebound against that, isn't it? I remember when we were playing a semi-final here one year, and Ruben Sapwell playing against Wollongong. Oh! Nathan Herbert goes upstairs. Ruben Sapwell shot one straight off the backboard. You can't read that sort of stuff. Got flicked back out, and he shot the three-pointer that took us into overtime, but that is really difficult to defend.
Matt Campbell gets it down to Larry Davison. Nice. He's going to work, isn't he?
It's tough to stop. A little shake to the middle, turn around to his preferred left.
And can't you tell when a guy's in the flow? I mean, he wants the ball, and his timing on his moves is great. Stephen Way, that was a nice quick one as he slid that one off the glass. The standard of this game has improved 10 times as we got a timeout on the floor. Wollongong are down by 10 as the Adelaide 36ers are starting to get their mojo back on the offensive end.
I can't see anyone on Adelaide's end defensively that's going to be able to stop Larry Davison. I can't see it. No one out there, I think, is going to be able to stop him, and I would, if I was Wollongong, be going at him at every single opportunity.
Yeah, it does seem that way. But is Larry Davison the type of guy that you go to every possession? He just seems to feel the game and pick his little spots. I mean, but the way he's scoring tonight, maybe he can get to another level. I mean, because every time he catches it, he's looking for his opportunities.
He is that good secondary option, isn't it? Like, you have your star coming off, but it's a nice little dish down, and he'll finish it off for you. I think you might be right. Maybe he isn't quite at that level where he's your go-to guy, but, I mean, he's showed to be a bit tonight.
Well, Nathan Herbert and Tim Conrad just didn't come to the ball enough, as Nathan Herbert read that one well, anticipated that. And Conrad challenged. I like Tim Conrad. You know, and those are the questions you got to ask. I think that, you know, with Matt Campbell getting on in years and guys like Conrad and, you know, Saville as well. I think Saville can play a role, and of course these guys can play a role, but if they're playing too many minutes, they're cutting down on Tyson Demoss's minutes and cutting down on Tim Conrad's minutes, and these guys are ready to blossom.
Well, the one thing that those older guys do give you is a little bit of experience. They give you a bit of direction around trainings, around the locker room, off and on the court. So they're the pluses, but I guess it is hard when you are playing bids minutes at that age to be effective, and they've probably been a little bit, and I think they'll admit it this year, a little bit inconsistent with their form up and down. That may have something to do with it.
Campbell with a good pass to Ibaka. Just timed that well. Good heads-up plays. Nothing against those guys. I just think that you always have to, there's a fine balance between sticking with your experienced players and not giving the young guys their opportunities, as Adelaide squirt one out of bounds.
This is where Adelaide have struggled all year. They get themselves in a good position, or they're in the game, and they just start having turnovers like that, and games where they could be locking it up and putting the game out of sight. They're really giving other teams a chance to come back, as we see Ayinde backing Darren Ing down low.
And a nice post move. Larry Davison did a smart thing in re-entering that pass and then emptying out. So Ing was one-on-one with Ibaka. Mitch Creek with a quick one. A couple of bad possessions for Adelaide. Matt Campbell has his shot blocked, and he goes to the line.
Good little fight back here by the Wollongong Hawks. They're starting to get a little bit of momentum. It's turning into their favour, as Adelaide need to settle themselves down and start to get a couple of good shots.
That's right. Adelaide stretched the lead out to 10, forced Wollongong to take a timeout, and they've scored the first 5 points out of that timeout. 5-0 run by Wollongong with Matt Campbell on the line. He's an 84% foul shooter on the season. Gets 1 out of 2. Lead is 4. Way with a wide open look.
That's the difference, isn't it, between the top and the bottom teams at this stage of a game. You can't afford to have those mental lapses and leave a shooter like Stephen Way, although he hasn't given Adelaide much tonight. You can't give him that much room. Anyone in the NBL can knock a shot down when they're given that much room.
Ibaka. Oh. Off balance. Ibaka doesn't get the call. He thought he was bumped off balance. Adelaide get the stop.
His shot, wasn't he? He was spun around, and that just cut the percentages down by a long way.
Herbert to Johnson. He's backing down Larry Davison. Campbell picks up the rebound, gets it to Ibaka. Ibaka's found.
That was a frustration foul there by Daniel Johnson. I think he's frustrated from the other end of the court, where he's now 4 of 17 from the field. We just see him lose his cool there a little bit and just run straight into Ibaka.
Let's go.
Ibaka looks like he's cramping up. Those are the guys that are in foul trouble. Mitch Creek and Chris Warren on 3. Reese Martin on 4 for Wollongong.
Adelaide in the bonus already. They're on 5 fouls now. Wollongong only 1 for the last quarter.
Seen some good foul shooters. Boink a couple from the foul line. Back to 60% from the line tonight. It's the second one to go. Well, you rarely see a career 84% foul shooter miss 2 in a game. Matt Campbell on Warren. To Johnson.
Unlucky for Conrad there. He came over the top, but well executed in the end by Adelaide to be able to come off, get a nice little pass down low to Daniel Johnson.
I'm not sure if that was Conrad's man, but he saw the opening. And I love it when guys are trailing a play and don't give up on a play like that. Conrad almost pulls off the block shot.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great defense originally, but he certainly stopped a guaranteed 2 points at this stage of the game, which is important. And now they're going to have to earn it from the stripe.
Gordy McLeod. It's kind of been the story of both of these teams this year. They've put themselves in a position to come back or win a game and then kind of self-destruct. Both of these teams have given the other one an opportunity by some real mental lapses.
Yeah, it has, both teams, and it's always the way. Have had some injuries throughout the course of the year. That both teams have shown so much potential at different stages of the year as well, being able to light up and put points on the board in a hurry, but so often we just haven't seen that potential realised throughout the course of the year. That's why they're sitting in the positions they're in at the moment.
Well, Brett, next year, Adelaide will hopefully have their core players, and of course Daniel Johnson is the guy that everyone's talking about. Building your club around a guy like that who's young and going to give some great years. Got to hang on to him. But Nathan Crosswell was out. Adam Ballinger. If those guys can come back to 100%, this team already, just the one that's out on the floor, looks a lot better. Do you think they need to make any changes?
Oh, look, I think when you're finishing second bottom or bottom, you do have to make some changes. But what they've been doing the last 3 or 4 years is making wholesale changes every year and bringing in 6 guys every year. And it's hard to get any sort of success when you're doing that. You have to just stick with a group of guys that you think is good enough and then bring in maybe three at the most, maybe 4 at the most. Try and keep 6 guys together, and they've got a good young core that they can keep together. You've got guys like Stephen Way, you've got Daniel Johnson, you've got Mitch Creek, you've got some good athletic talent to work around there. So they've got some good signs, but they certainly will have to make some changes when you're finishing second bottom or bottom the last couple of years as well. It's not just this year.
Yeah, I think they need a real McNasty, like Mick of Akona, somebody like that. Well, everybody needs Mick of Akona.
Yeah, I mean, those sort of guys, every team's over. Just guys that come out and play hard-nosed. As we see a bad foul there by Nathan Herbert, challenging the three-point shot of Yindo Ubaka, but similar to the Darren Ing incident earlier in the game where he drew the foul.
Ubaka with a foot on the line is knocked down by Nathan Herbert. Ubaka didn't think he was going to get that call. Oh, he didn't. Why isn't he shooting?
No, I think he is. I think he's just wiped himself down with the towel. I think he's foot on the line, though.
Yeah. It wasn't the replay as well, because I heard it initially. And in the corner, that can happen because you don't really get a chance to give yourself the space that you need to definitely shoot a three-point shot, because you might be out of bounds.
And we've seen that a lot, haven't we, the last couple of years since the extension of the three-point line. A lot of guys on occasions have stepped outside the line.
Ubaka gets that one to go. And Warren's able to bring it up. 6-point lead for the 36ers. Wollongong have to start being aware of clock and possession. Johnson spinning. It's fouled by Conrad. It's just a mismatch.
Probably no need for Conrad to have stuck his hand in there. I thought his body position was quite good there. And then at the end, he just had that little slap in. And when a guy is shooting at 4 of 17 from 9, you probably want to make him make the shot, don't you?
Yeah.
Rather than letting him off and putting him to the free throw line. Where he is 4 of 4 on the night.
And, you know, we spoke earlier about when you're a consistent scorer in this league, you find ways to accumulate your points when it's not your night. Clearly not Daniel Johnson's night, as he has struggled from the line at 4 of 7, from the field, 4 of 17. Boy, hadn't been shot. Conrad comes up short. That'll be on him. It was like he shot that one, but he thought the whistle was going to blow for a charge. He just really didn't see it through.
Yeah, and I think he's lucky not to have got a charge there. I think it was very close to a charge. Stephen Way, not bad defense. That's going to get caught a charge a lot of nights. He went hard after his rebound, which is good. Also probably got away with that travel there as well.
I thought he switched his pivot foot. You've seen a lot of that. Guys, they make their fake and they move their feet as they're making that fake. And the towel wipers have been extremely busy tonight with the humidity that's happening. And even after a couple of possessions, they have to go back and re-wipe it. Way will bring it up against Ibaka. He gets it over the timeline. Back to Warren.
Not bad handles there by the big fella.
No.
I thought Ayinde might have been able to take it off him there, but nice stand-up move there. Chris Warren just stood Oscar Foreman up. Blew past him, had the weak side defender come over.
Oscar Foreman off the mark there. It's desperate times for Wollongong. Is Adelaide. We'll take some more time off the clock. Shot clock down to 10, so Wollongong won't want a foul. Way. Spins, tough shot over Ibaka. That's off the mark. Daniel Johnson pushes Reese Martin out of the court on the baseline. We'll go for 2 down the other end. It's a third on Daniel Johnson. Get another look at that screen out by Reese Martin. He really just threw him out of the picture.
And when you got, what would he have, about a foot advantage height-wise? I don't know if it's necessary, although Reese Martin obviously had his body in there and set.
Wollongong, after going perfect from the foul line, at 7 for 7, have missed a couple. Now they're just 12 of 16 from the foul line. And the good foul shooters are the ones that are missing them.
Well, that's it. From Wollongong's perspective, they've been getting the right people to the line. They just haven't been able to finish it off.
Way throws it up in the air, and Campbell gets the steal. Martin kicks it to Ibaka. Steps in, drills a jump shot. Matt Campbell was open outside the three-point line. He didn't get it to him. Loose ball again. Warren ducks it loose. They did. They got very lucky.
That is not the way to break the press.
It was ugly.
Darren Ing was wide open down this side, but looked off.
Daniel Johnson shooting 2.
Daniel Johnson. Tough night at the office from the field. See, comes up short on that one. He didn't even get up on his toes on that one. Looked flat-footed. But Johnson still got 14 points. Gets the roll on that one, averaging just over 16 points a game. So even on a bad shooting night, he's getting towards his average. Ibaka with a bad angle, can't get that one to go. looks like, Brett, the 36ers are going to string 2 in a row.
Well, they've been trying all year, and every time they've got themselves that opportunity in their second win, they haven't put their foot forward. They've taken a step back or 2 steps back in that game. But tonight, they've been reasonably solid. Wollongong, I don't think, has put a great effort out on the floor. They've shown at 37.7%, 33% from the three-point line. So Adelaide have done enough, haven't they, tonight to get over the line. They've been reasonably consistent. They've had a few good efforts out there tonight.
Nathan Herbert makes it double-figure lead. Wollongong. Get it to Matt Campbell. That's good. Campbell knocks down the 3. Wollongong just trying to make this thing respectable. Darren Ing loses the hand of Adelaide, bringing it up against the pressure. Has not been pretty. Now Daniel Johnson. So it looks like Daniel Johnson will get his average tonight.
And this is the best part of the game from a scorer's perspective, when you want to hold on to the basketball, get fouled, get those extra couple.
Don't you look some people off?
We used to have a few wars at this stage of the game of who could get the ball, because once you got it, you weren't going to get a pass off, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm playing strong with the ball. Johnson gets another point. 16, Martin.
Tough finish. Daniel Johnson all over that shot.
Ubaka with the steal. And he'll get himself to the line. Not a pretty finish.
Adelaide still giving that slight glimmer of hope to Wollongong here. They just need to take their time and settle down, get it in bounds and run the clock out, get fouled, go to the line, but
they are definitely limping towards the finish line. A couple late turnovers and some very average press breakers. Ubaka to the foul line should make this a 4-point game. It is a game. You would just bet the house on the fact that he's going to knock this free throw down.
Well, the other move is to miss this one, Stephen. Give yourself the opportunity to rebound and get a 3 and make it a 2-point game.
Marty Clark is not going to leave a stone unturned. He'll call a timeout. It's a 4-point game with 10 seconds to go. Now, there's going to be a quick foul and a couple of missed free throws, and a lot can happen. Not to mention a steal and a quick bucket and a timeout.
Yeah, look, from Adelaide's perspective, that's a smart call to make a time, because they need to make sure they at least get the ball inbound and get it into their hands. Then if there's a quick foul, at least they've got the opportunity to score. If they can't get the ball in or turn it over, then Wollongong are a legitimate chance then.
Adelaide have definitely left the door open. The turnovers 14-13. Not a ridiculous amount of turnovers, but it's been the timing of them for Adelaide. And I guess, like you said, Brett, you know, we got 8 going up against 9 in a 9-team competition. Although these teams have some very bright spots during the game, these are the times where you start to see the cracks, crucial parts of the game, the decision-making.
Just been able to finish off games and get the ball in the right people's hands and run the right plays at the right time, have those leaders out on the court, not necessarily just the point guards, but some of the other guys in the team directing the play. Both of these teams have probably struggled a little bit in that area.
Oh, we still have a ball game. 10.2 seconds. Adelaide will advance the basketball with that timeout. Daniel Jackson into the game for Wollongong. Trying to get some solid defenders. Adelaide struggling to get it in, get it to Stephen Way, and he's fouled.
He just got that in, didn't they? It was a very average pass into Stephen Way.
He had to peel it off his shins. to grab it. If he makes one out of two and be two quick three-pointers, but you're asking a lot.
Two shots.
Chance to seal the game here. Stephen Way, if he can put these two away, it'll make it very difficult.
11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. That's his line. With that 12. Foul on Ibaka. Trying to get to the rim. He does. 1.6. That's it. Might have gone a bit quick, but in the end, it was 4 points, and they were not going to get a 4-point play. Adelaide just outlast Wollongong, 77.